Hey everybody, we are looking at sunfish today, and this is the red sunfish, or the red-eared sunfish sometimes it's called. It's likely a hybrid, but you can really see that red color right here. Really beautiful. They're really beautiful, red with blue and yellow on their tail, and these are some of my favorite fish because they behave almost identical to cichlids. They have these nests, and they'll actually collect all sorts of stuff, as I've said in other videos, but they'll collect anything and everything at their disposal to make their nests look fancy for the ladies. And look at this one right here. He may be spawning as we speak. He's definitely digging, but look at that beautiful color in this guy right here. So this one has less of the red, and it looks, these are pumpkinseed fish, by the way, but there's a good chance that they're interbred with green sunfish or something like, definitely, yeah, with the green sunfish or with the bluegills. Now we can see this one over here. Let's see if you can see him in the shade. He's also fanning a clutch of either eggs or digging with his tail. And even through all this algae, piece by piece, they'll rip it out, even though it's thick, big things that are hard for me to pull out. They'll excavate one by one, and they will make a clearing. And the bigger the fish, these are probably yearlings, but if you get a 2 or 3 year old fish, they'll actually create really big areas, 2 or 3 feet across, where there's sand in the middle and just like bright white sand, if they have it in their area, in the middle, and then on the sides there's gray or the darkest color rocks they can find, so it looks like a bullseye. Whereas these younger ones, I don't know if it's just because they can't pick them up, or if they haven't learned, or if if it's kind of a thing that comes with time, but they haven't actually had that ability yet to learn to make a big nest. So like this male's a little bigger than the one we were just looking at, and they group in colonies of probably 10 to 13, 14 fish. And here's his little nest. So he's actually put wood in the very center and some loose vegetative materials, and he is on the nest right now, and just going back and forth with his tail to kind of keep it clear so no algae's growing. And they'll fight any male that comes through their territory very strongly. They're very territorial fish. But look at the beauty of these fish. Hold on, let's see if we can get a good shot of this guy without that glare. The glare is rough today, but I came at a time when I was hoping the glare would be less. So when he gets into the right spot, we'll be able to see him real well. And just a beautiful fish, though, again, like I've been saying. And his blues in his tail are just really electric and really metallic and electric color. And same with the little ear spot he has. That's really what lets you see them first off the bat. And then if they're in the sun, they've got a beautiful red color with like a pigeon's blood pattern on it. You can kind of see it on this one. We saw it pretty good earlier for a moment. And these guys are in less than a foot of water. This habitat here that they're in, it goes out pretty deep, but they actually hang out in the shallows because the bass and loaches, whatever else is in here, doesn't seem to come into the shallows quite so often. But they'll actually kind of team up, plus the algae wall and all this Persicaria maculosa and all the different vegetative stuff and just debris that's in the water creates quite the barrier. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty innovative, and it's pretty interesting the way they make their little cages around their nest, almost like a fence. There you can see it's kicking up all sorts of mud, and we can actually see that beautiful male here. Let's see if we can get color on the angle that we're at. So if you can see it, its ear spot always stands out. We call it an ear spot, even though it's really just it's where its fins are. But they've got the same exact markings as a discus, really. They've got these kind of red and alternating blue and green. It really depends on the fish, actually. But this location, they're super high in anthocyanins and omega-3s and 6s, which is what you want in like quality fish food. And these guys are getting it, and so they're at their full color potential. And what that means is that they're eating the fattest grubs and insects possible, and that they're getting that every day, and they've grown up on that. So these males aren't losing out while they're sitting on their nest, like some species, like some cichlids or plecos do when they've got a cave or a nest. And I just love these fish. I don't think they get near enough credit. I don't think they get kept in the hobby enough. And I've got my pole here, but it's not to fish. It's a tenkara rod. It's 13 feet long, and it's just simply to prod or to set aside branches and things like that, because there we go, because this is a protected area where they're at. So I'm not even dip netting here at all. We're just watching them today from this particular pond. I can dip net them over by my house whenever I want, but they're just a beautiful fish, and I think that we needed to take some time to appreciate just how beautiful they are.